evening, everyone. I'm going to try that again because I heard one voice over here. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you. All right. This is a wonderful, wonderful occasion. I'm just excited to be here. Last year, I was sitting where all of you are sitting as a mentor of this wonderful program, and was very honored to be asked to speak this year at the kickoff as the keynote speaker. So before I get started, I just want to thank and just give so much gratitude to the Leadership OU team, the Oakland University Alumni Association, and just all who put this together, who asked me to be a part of it. As you heard, I'm Chiara Clayton. I am born and raised in Detroit on the east side. Any east siders here? There's always one. All right, shout out girls, always one. Auto Drive in Gratiot. Graduate of Regina High School, which used to be in Harper Woods, now in Warren. And proud alumni of Oakland University. Go Grizzlies!
Yeah.
Fun story, I actually started off as a Pioneer, but I graduated as a Grizzly, so I'm both. So it's kind of cool. Just to give you some background, I started Oakland University in 1994, actually 27 years ago right now, and was just excited, just a wide-eyed girl thinking she was traveling because she was 40 minutes from home, and that seemed like a world away at that time at 18, because I'd never really been, away from my side of town, so I thought I was going away to school, and it was really just 40 minutes, but I was just excited to be here. So when I was asked to present today, I didn't really know what I wanted to share. When someone said, you're going to be our keynote speaker, I was like, really, me? I was sharing with my table, like, when I think of keynote speakers, I think of, Michelle Obama and Vice President Kamala, Oprah, that's what I think of, Who am I to be a keynote speaker? But, I am someone who has worked steadily for the last 30 years. Shout out to Eastland Mall, Musicland, that was my first job. It doesn't exist anymore. You remember Musicland? We actually used to go and buy those things called CDs. Remember that? It's my first job. And I've been fortunate enough to work for many years in the nonprofit sector, which I discovered at a later time in my career, but I love. And I also have been able to pursue my passion of singing, hosting, and most recently, social media. And I'll get to that in a little bit in my speech. I've been asked to serve as a part of this wonderful mentorship program at my alma mater. So someone sees something in me. So here I am, your keynote tonight, and I'm glad to be here. As I look back over the years, and I realize that my gifts have always served me well, and they've always made a way for me, because I truly tried to always use everything that I had. So my message to all of you tonight is gonna be stir up your gifts, okay? So throughout this speech, I don't want it to just be me talking. I want kind of a call and response. I feel like I'm in the pulpit at my church. But when I point to you, I want everyone here to say, stir up your gifts, okay? Can we do that?
All right.
So let's get going. So when I arrived on OU's campus the fall of 1994, I felt like I was a world away from home, as I mentioned. 40 minutes away from Outer Drive in Gratiot, but it seemed like I was, out of state somewhere. And I was actually living for the first time. I had no idea what I wanted to major in when I got here. I just knew that it was expected of me to go to college. I have an older sister who went to Wayne State, and we were the first graduates of college in our immediate family. I didn't know what job I wanted. I didn't know what my future was gonna look like. I truly was taking it day by day when I stepped on this campus. I knew that I always loved to sing. I've been singing since I was young. I was pretty good at it, so I figured, I'll be a vocal major, right? Because that's what I do. So that lasted about a half a semester. Seriously. I love to sing, but I did not like the technical side of it, I discovered. So after about 3 classes and a 1.7 GPA my first semester, I I know. Yeah. Oh, is it 1 year? Okay, okay. I'm not by myself. All right. I was scared. I didn't know what I was gonna do because my parents, Clarence and Alicia, told me I had 1 semester to get it together, or I was gonna have to come home, and I knew that was a no-go. I was having too much fun, so I decided to stir up the gifts that were in me.
Stir up the gifts.
I had to do it quickly, and I knew I had to at least set myself on a path to graduate college. So some way, somehow, the wonderful world of communications found me, and I decided that I wanted to go into a career of radio broadcasting, and I would minor in public relations. So quick sidebar, I had to ask this. By a show of hands, especially my ladies who are here, who out there in grade school used to bring home report cards that stated, talks too much? Okay, I know there's, okay. I was one of those too, right? And notice it's all ladies, it's all girls that raise their hands. So I knew I wasn't the only one. Well, I had to wait 7 years after I almost got kicked out of grade school, middle school for socializing in class too much and getting demerits, to learn that you could actually make a living by talking too much. Okay, and thankfully my time here at Oakland University opened my eyes up to so many opportunities. I remember vividly my counselor, Shay Howe, I don't know if she's still here. Is she still here? She was my counselor. Of course, Professor Dykes, I believe he's still here as well. So those 2 instructors or those 2 professors really stood out to me because they really helped me to nurture and find my way while I was here. They helped me to stir up my gifts.
Stir up your gifts.
Thank you. Okay, so doing my 4.5 years here at Oakland, I took broadcasting classes, debate classes, performed in numerous talent shows. If anybody knows me, I used to love the ABS talent show. I lived for that. You actually put together a full performance. It was a thing, right? I won a scholarship pageant. I was one and done with the pageant. It was a horrible experience, but I won, so it was good. I waited tables at Cooker, which used to be across the street, which I believe is the Red Ox now. Made lots of good money there. I worked for a local radio station, and I even interned at Cedar Point, ladies and gentlemen. It can be done. My counselor, Shay, signed off on me to intern at Cedar Point. I was a concierge for summer at the Hotel Breakers, and I even drove the courtesy van. And I couldn't believe I was getting college credit, had a ball. But everything that I just went over truly helped me to hone all the gifts and talents that I had naturally. And it set me on a career path. I tell anyone that if you can wait tables, which I don't even know if young people do that anymore, but if you can wait tables, you can work with any form of the public. It trained me on how to learn, how to talk to people, how to kind of gauge people and see kind of, what their needs are, and to be fearless because of course I was working for tips, so that was a good thing. When I was in college, I always looked for ways to network. I was a member of the Association of Women in Communications. I was a tour guide on campus. I just tried to look for different ways to just get involved and to network and to meet people. And my first job on campus was actually calling alumni for donations. I don't even know if they still have that department. So they do. So literally I would call, and that was my freshman year. I would call alumni asking for donations on behalf of the students. And that experience helped me to learn how to develop a rapport with people quickly because I didn't want to get hung up on, right? So I had to do what I had to do on the phone. And I used that experience to hone my sales and promotional skills, which have taken me through every aspect of my career. And I didn't know at the time, but it was truly setting me up on a path to know that if I can, ask someone for a couple $100s over the phone and actually get it, because I was the top fundraiser my first year and won a trip to Toronto, that I could do anything. So I was learning then that I had to stir up my gifts.
Stir up your gifts.
There we go, thank you. And so even though I didn't major in music, I never let it go. So after graduating, I found that my gift of singing was a great way to make additional income from my 9 to 5, right? So I don't know about you, but in this day and age, and this was true 25 years ago, but it's still true now, one stream of income will not get it, okay? And know that. multiple streams of income, having different ways to make income is kind of the way of the world. So if you haven't thought about that, you should start thinking about it now. And luckily, I was able to use my gift of singing to actually start singing professionally and start seeing income from that. I performed during the 2006 Super Bowl in Detroit at numerous events. And from that, I was able to connect with Roger Penske, who was a major person in that. And he hired me for the next 4 years to perform for his Penske Automotive Annual Awards in Vegas at the beautiful Wynn. And that was a wonderful experience. I felt like a celebrity. They had a little car for me when I got there and a little sign with my name and took me to the venue, and I really felt like a celebrity.
Yeah.
But that was a great experience, and I learned then, you know, something that I always loved to do. If I marketed myself correctly and put myself in certain rooms, it could take me even farther. I learned very quickly to never depend on just one gift. So that's something I want to leave with you. We all have multiple gifts. You just have to kind of hone in and tune in to what makes you get up in the morning and really stir up that gift. One of my favorite quotes is from the lyrical genius, Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z. And he has a quote in the song, actually it's the title of one of his songs, but he says, "I have a million ways to get it. Choose one." Anybody know that song? On to the next, from that Blueprint 3. If you don't have it, check it out. I'm probably dating myself, but that's okay. But you have a million ways to get it done. It's all in you. So, you know, just choose one and be able to, you know, use that as you go along. I didn't understand as a student or even after working professionally for 5 years, but as I went along in my career path, I started to see how the more skills you have, the more marketable you are, and in any industry that will definitely take you far. Hey, that rhymes. I didn't realize that rhymed when I wrote that, but it rhymes, okay. So I want you to stir up your gifts, ladies and gentlemen.
Stir up your gifts.
If I could offer one tip that I could leave with all of the current OU students that are here, whatever comes to you naturally, whatever gets you out of bed in the morning, whatever you would do for free, that is your gift, okay? So you need to tap into that because it will always make room for you. So just remember that. Tap into that gift. Always be open to use every job experience to hone that gift. And find a mentor to assist you. And I think you guys all understand that assignment because you're here, right?
Yeah.
Right. To all my mentors who are here, I was you last year. And when I was asked to serve as a mentor in this program, I'm thinking like, you know what? I need a mentor. At 40 plus, can I get another mentor? But obviously someone saw something in me to be a part of this program. So I want to ask all of my mentors here, how many of you knew exactly what you were going to do when you graduated college, when you graduated from Oakland? You knew exactly what you were going to do? No one. Okay, I thought it'd be maybe a couple of people. So, and when I say that, I mean, how many of you didn't find your career, but your career ended up finding you?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So as you're helping your mentee, I want you to make sure you share with them what you wish someone had shared with you when you were at the point that they're at. Be the person that you wish you had to your mentee. I know we all wish we could go back to our 22 or 21-year-old, wide-eyed, full of energy, ready to take on the world selves, and tell them to do certain things differently and warn them that life doesn't always go as planned, right? So be that for the person sitting next to you or sitting across from you in this program. That'll probably be the best gift that you can give them. One of the things that I shared with my mentee last year during the program is that it took me working literally professionally for 10 years to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. I had a job, I was working, but it took me almost a decade to know exactly what I wanted to do, and then another 5 years after that to really get there. So, in this world of social media, which I love because I do it for a living, it's very easy to look at your peers and people that you started working with or went to school with who seem to have it all. They're jet skiing in Maui, they're marrying their high school sweetheart, they're having babies, they're on the red carpet at the Oscars, they're, getting the Nobel Peace Prize, whatever they're doing, right? That they're putting on social media. It's very easy to look at that and compare your life to what they're doing. But always remember, your path is your path, and that whatever is meant for you will never miss you. I've been very guilty myself of seeing people who I started, at the same time within our careers and feeling like they're, a little better than me because they have a certain title or they hold certain degrees that I don't have. But I remind myself every day, I have to tell myself that titles don't really mean anything. It doesn't mean that you're more skilled or that you're better or qualified, and that I challenge myself daily to be a better version of myself, and that no one else is me. When I walk into a room, it's me, it's Chiara. So I know that I'm not better than anybody, but I know I hold my own. So I try to continue to learn, and I try to continue to grow my gifts, and I challenge you to do the same.
Sure, grow your gifts. Stir up your gifts.
Come on, you gotta do better than that, y'all.
Stir up your gifts.
Here we go. I know it's late, I'm almost done. To the college students out there, I have just a little bit of bad news to share with you before I take my seat. And this is it. It's inevitable that you will have a job that you will absolutely hate in your life. Thank you for clapping. It's inevitable, okay? If it has not already happened, just give it a little bit. You will get a job that you will absolutely hate. But if you are open to it, there will always be something you can learn from, and you can always take something to help you to land the job that you want or get yourself to where you want to be. So stay encouraged, always. Know that life is made up of peaks and valleys, but as my minister says, if you happen to find yourself in the valley, you know that your current situation, always remember, your current situation isn't your final destination. Sometimes you have to fight through the tough days to get to the best days. And lastly, with that, ask yourself, will you allow your circumstance to define your fight, or will you let your fight change your circumstance? My minister said that on Sunday. It stuck with me, so I thought I'd share it with you. Lastly, I believe that every experience can prepare you to get yourself to where you want to be. So take advantage of everything. Ambition is a great thing. Don't let anybody tell you it's not. One of my favorite singers, Madonna, I learned at a very young age. One of her tours was called Blonde Ambition. And she said that ambition is everything. Don't ever let anybody tell you it's not. So don't be afraid to go out and go for everything that you want, especially if you're in your last year here at Oakland. And this can also be true for both the mentors as well as the mentees. Use every opportunity to learn. I learned so much from my mentee last year. Her name is Kayla. We're still connected. And when I signed up for Leadership OU and I was approached about being a mentor, I didn't really know that I would get so much out of my time spent with the networking events, with her one-on-one. We would just do things like, we both love tacos, so we would hit up Mexican Village and just talk. She would call me, she was interviewing for jobs or applying for grad school, and she would bounce things off of me. She ended up getting an intern with the city council president for Detroit, Brenda Jones. I helped her to get that, and she served as she was a host for one of the virtual events that the city council president put on, and she was so nervous and didn't know what to wear. And I thought back to myself at her age, and even though I was, very comfortable in front of people, I wasn't nearly as good as I am now. And I just thought about what I needed when I was in her position, and I tried to offer that, and she said she was better for it, so that was a great experience. She said she benefited from me, but I told her I benefited a lot more from her, more than she would ever know. I'm sorry. So in closing, at the beginning of August, I have to share with you, I started what turns out to be my dream job. As it was said, I am the communications and PR specialist for the Detroit Riverfront Conservancy, which is awesome. And I'm serving as their first ever in that position, so it's very special. I get the privilege to promote the programming, special events, and expansion of the #1 river walk in the United States. We were just voted this year. Has anybody been on the Detroit Riverfront? Have you been to the Quinder Cut or any of our parks, Valet Park? So we were recently voted the #1 riverfront in the United States. And it's in the city that I love. I'm an avid Detroiter. I lived in Miami for like 3 years with a job, and I've never felt so hardcore Detroit as when I was living in Florida, because I felt like I had to defend my city every day. And I did it, as I always will. But now I'm able to work for a nonprofit in the city that I love. I give tours. I host events. I was able to just host. We had a West Riverfront block party just on Saturday with Elder Barge and Brownstone, and had over 3,000 people at the West Riverfront. I was able to host that event, and I've only been there 7 weeks. But as I said, when I walk into any room, I own it, right? I do TV interviews, I do media pitches, and it truly is a dream job. And everything that I went over with you today has prepared me for what I'm doing now. I've been able to stir up my gifts. I've been able to believe in myself. And just 3 years ago, and I'll leave you with this, I was unexpectedly laid off, driving Lyft, collecting unemployment, and interviewing, not knowing if I would ever have the stable employment that I have been used to. But I used that time to really think about what I wanted. I went back to school, got a certification in social media for business. So that, coupled with my degree here from Oakland University and all of the gifts and talents and experience that I had, helped me to find a nonprofit job that set me up for what I do now. And they're gonna have to kick me out, y'all, because I love it. And I told them that. So I'm in it for the long haul. I still sing professionally. I do have a band, so I'm able to still do that. And I even do some social media consulting on the side for a couple small businesses to help them to grow their social media presence. So all in all, I continue every day to nurture and stir up every gift that God has given me. So as I take my seat, I want you to know that everything you need was given to you at birth. Everything you need is inside of you. So sometimes you just have to stir it up, everybody. All your gifts and talents, say it, stir it up.
Stir up your gifts.
Everything that gives you purpose in life, stir it up.
Stir up your gifts.
All your dreams and ambitions, stir it up.
Stir up your gifts.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.